Okay, it's been a while since I opened this book. This is a great book by Austin Kleon. Austin Kleon. I hope I said his last name correctly. Kleon. Okay. Let me see. Start over. Begin again. Whenever Picasso learned how to do something, he abandoned it. Milton Glaser. When you feel like you've learned whatever there is to learn from what you're doing, it's time to change course and find something new to learn so that you can move forward. You can't be you can't be content you can't be content with mastery. You have to push yourself to become a student again. Anyone who isn't embarrassed of who they were last year probably isn't learning enough. Rather, writes author Ellen D. Bottom. The minute comedian George Carlin finished recording one of his HBO stand-up specials, he'd throw out all his old jokes and start from scratch on a new hour of material for the next special. He did this year after year. An artist has an obligation to be on route, to be going somewhere. He said, "There's a journey involved. It keeps you trying to be fresh, trying to be new, trying to call on yourself a little more." Carlin learned that when you get rid of old material, you push yourself further and come up with something better. When you throw out old work, what you're really doing is making room for new work. You have to have the courage to get rid of work and rethink things completely. I need to sort of tear down everything I've done and rebuild from scratch, said director Steven Soderbergh about his upcoming retirement from making films. Not because I figured everything out. I've just figured out what I can't figure out, and I need to tear it down and start over again. The thing is, you never really start over. You don't lose all the work that's come before, even if you try to toss it aside. The lessons that you've learned from it will seep into what you do next. So don't think of it as starting over. Think of it as beginning again. Go back to chapter 1, literally, and become an amateur. Look for something new to learn, and when you find it, dedicate yourself to learning it out in the open. Document your progress and share as you go so that others can learn along with you. Show your work, and when the right people show up, pay close attention to them because they'll have a lot to show you. What now? Go online and post what you're working on right now with the tag show your work. Plan a show your work night with colleagues or friends. Use this book as a guide. Share works in progress and your curiosities. Tell stories and teach one another. Give a copy of this book away to somebody who needs to read it. Books are made out of books. Cormac McCarthy. Brian Eon. A Year with Swollen Apprentice. Stephen Johnson. Where Good Ideas Come From. David Byrne. How Music Works. Mike Monterell. Design is a Job. Close Stark. Don't Go Back to School. Keo Stock. Don't Go Back to School. Ian Svenius. Supernatural Strategies for Making a Rock and Roll Group. Sidney Lumet. Making Movies. P.T. Barnum. The Art of Money Getting. The Art of Money Getting. YMMV. Your mileage may vary. Ooh. Some advice can be a vice. Feel free to take what you can use and leave the rest. There are no rules. I show my work at www.austinkleon.com. Behind the scenes. Outtakes from the process of making this book. Our obituaries are written before we are dead. Big art gets small, small art gets big. Invent another you, then you can blame him. First, be useful, then necessary. Okay. What is all this? You find your voice by joining the choir. Your dumbest idea could be the one that takes off. Many of the most popular things that I've posted online started as stupid ideas. Not knowing is the engine that creativity runs on. Some of my best ideas at the beginning, I literally can't tell if they're slight or profound. Work on a book become tiresome. Thank you. Okay. I just read the last chapter of this entire book. Oh, there's another section here. Notes and illustration credits. 1. You don't have to be a genius. I took the photo of Beethoven in San Francisco outside the Academy of Arts and Science in Golden Gate Park. The bust is a copy of sculptor Henry Barrow's monument in Central Park. Read Obituaries. It's also chapter 6.5 in Charles Williams' 10.5 Things No Commencement Speaker Has Ever Said. Think process, not product. The title of the second section comes from something Gay Telsey once said in an interview. I am a documentarian of what I do. Open up your cabinet of curiosities. The engraving is from Frente Imperatos Deus Historia Naturali di Frente Imperato Napolitano, 1599. It's also featured in the back of Lawrence Westler, Mr. Wilson's Cabinet of Wonder. Pantheon, 1995. The photo of the sign on the brick wall was taken in a back alley somewhere in Philadelphia. It has not been altered. Tell Good Stories. I read about Dan Holman's thoughts on structure in the October 2011 issue of Wired, which also included an illustration of his story circle. Kurt Vonnegut drew his story shapes in several lectures, but his best explanation of the concept can be found in Palm Sunday. DailyXiao, 1981. I just don't know how to say these words, man. He revisited the shapes later on in A Man Without a Country. Stephen Stories, 2005. Alright, I think I got one more. Gustav Freytag was a German playwright and novelist who wrote about what would come to be known as Freytag's Pyramid in his 1876 book Die Technik des Dramas. Don't turn into human spam. The catch and release owning fishing sign was photographed at Mueller Lake Park in Austin, Texas. The last photo was taken at the Dairy Queen on Manor Road in East Austin. Sell out. The title of the first section is a paraphrase of a professor at Whitman College named Tommy Howells, whose students recorded him saying, "The Renaissance, like everything else, had to be financed." Read more of his aphorisms on Twitter at Tommy Howells. "Please pay me," quote unquote, is an erasure of a parking sign in Seattle, Washington. "My business is art" is an erasure of a parking sign in Lockhart, Texas. "I spotted the church sign outside of Knox Presbyterian Church in Toronto, Ontario." "Stick around, you gotta go away so you can come back" was something David Lynch's character said on the third season of the television show Louis. Alright, perfect. I'm going to rest a bit before breakfast. I'm already really sleepy. Okay. Thank you for reading with me. See you later. 停止录像。